What's up, Knife Tube? It's Diamond Cut Steel, and you guys are going to learn something today. So, what we're going to do today, we are going to cut test Ganzo D2 on 1/2-inch sisal rope. But before we do that, we are going to put a fresh edge on this thing. Figured y'all want to hang out and watch both, so let's do it to it. Alrighty, so what we're going to do this simple. We're not using nothing special. We are just going to go with a silicone carbide flattening stone to set the initial bevel and remove some steel because this edge has been used to hell and back. With that said, it is still quite sharp. Been stropped back many times. There's a couple little hang-ups on it, but overall this is certainly not a bad edge. Like, that is far sharper than the average person's pocket knife, I'll tell you that. But it's definitely got some little catches in it. See? Yeah, there's just some little catches in it. But nothing that's too bad. Give me one sec, guys. Whoops. Let me grab some more paper. Apologize. Just hold tight. Bear with me for a second. Because that paper actually is a different paper than I typically use. But yeah, there's some little catches. I can feel them. See? But overall, not bad. Like I said, most people's knives, or the average pocket knife out there, is nowhere close to that sharp. But we don't play that on this channel. It ain't sharp. It's well used. It's been stropped back a bunch of times. Let's get rid of it. I'll tell you what, I really wish Ganzo still made this model. I'd love to have a new one. I don't think they make them anymore. I can't find them on Amazon, and I really don't know where else you really buy Ganzo, so maybe eBay. But can you guys see? Yes, sir, Bob. This one here is past its use by date. These are real thin behind the edge out the box. They're very nice slicers, and this one here is starting to get pretty thick. Like I said, it's got a lot of sharpenings on it. I'd say at least 25. So we're gonna go old school silicone carbide. About right there. Feels pretty good to me. Let's see. Just on this silicone carbide right here, you can tell this is some quite hard D2. Ganzo does their D2 pretty damn hard. Like, as soon as you start sharpening this stuff on, like, especially this, like a simple aluminum oxide stone or the silicone carbide stone, you will be able to tell this is hard steel. Like the silicone carbide block does not really bite into it. It feels slick. That tells you it's hard steel. I mean, don't get me wrong, it'll cut it, no problem. But you have to use some pressure. And don't expect it to blaze through it. Okay. We have a nice buh. I am going to go ahead and remove a little bit more steel. This really is. They do a good job on their D2. And, you know, you won't get much better D2 than they do. I mean, I'm not saying they do the best. They don't. But for what they charge, how well it's done is impressive. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm using quite heavy pressure on that. Okay, we got a nice defined burr. What I'm going to do, there's where we're at. You can see that. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to work this side of the knife now. And then I'm going to go back and remove a little more steel off of both sides, because I know the stone isn't taking a ton of steel off. Okay. So, pretty substantial pressure. It's not a crazy amount, but I'm not babying it, I'll tell you that. And I know I'm not as peppy as normal, and I'm being a little quieter, but it's because it's late, and I definitely don't want to wake that baby up. Okay. All right. Make sure I get that burr. Make sure I am on angle. Is it looking good? Now let's go ahead and remove some steel. Okay. All right. You know what? I need to take these damn thumb studs off because they're kind of in my way. Give me 1 second, guys and girls. T6. Is it a T6? Yeah, I do believe it is. No, I don't believe it is. Hell, what is it? T7? That's weird. Okay. Alrighty. This is not going to be a quick video. Y'all can fast forward to it. I'm honestly it's late. I'm just having some me time, quiet, baby's resting, and, I'm just messing around. I'm not in no hurry. So yeah, I'm not trying to go quick or anything. I'm just simply enjoying some me time, filming a video. Y'all can fast forward into the cut test if that's all you want to see. I'll tell you, a lot of people skip over silicone carbide. And I'll tell you, and just, they'll go straight to diamond, and I get it. But I'll tell you this, silicone carbide leaves such a nice edge on most steels. It just leaves such a good edge. I love the finish. Yeah, there we got a nice burr. Okay, that's what I wanted. All right. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over to a stone I very much enjoy sharpening on. It's a stone I like a lot. It's a stone that does very good on these type of steels. It's a stone I've talked about many times before. I love it. And it's a stone you should all own. It's a King 300. It's a splash and go. They're not really splash and go. They say they are. They're not. They say they're non-absorbent. That's some cap. It's the new word, I guess, these days. I hear kids say it all the time. That's cap. It means bullshit. You lying. But it definitely absorbs water. Not a lot, but some. And man, I love this stone. It's a really hard stone, and it it's just a very nice feel to sharpen on this stone. Has decent feedback. Leaves a very nice edge finish. It's more around the 500-ish grit area, somewhere in there. Leaves a really, really, really nice filling edge. Very keen, very high bite. Just an all-around great stone. It's one of my very favorite water stones, believe it or not. Like, I'd say it's up there with. I like this specific stone as much as I like my rock stars, my choceras, my Cormacus. This is just a truly great stone. And as you can see, it's soaking up water. And I actually let it set for about 10 minutes in water. The whole time I was working on the silicone carbide stone, this was soaking. So, 10, 15 minutes. And for non-absorbent, it's pretty damn absorbent. But I'll tell you, it's one of those stones, it don't feel like it's doing a lot, but it's actually cutting pretty efficiently. It's a stone that likes pressure. You can actually use pretty heavy pressure with it, and as you see, it's clearly cutting. Hear that burr? Nice. But I just really like the edge finish it leaves. And for this D2, it's going to leave a perfect edge finish for this cut test. One thing about it, it's a very slow wearing stone too. You can pick these up for relatively cheap, around 30, maybe 35 bucks. This stone will last most people a lifetime, for sure. It's just very, very, very slow wearing. But yeah, it cuts quite efficiently. Doesn't require much maintenance. You don't got to flatten it very often. Doesn't load up at all. My suggestion though is let it soak about 20 minutes, so you don't have to constantly be refreshing it with water. What I really like about it, the stone acts two different ways. With light pressure, it really acts like a completely different stone than it does with heavy pressure. Yes, you already have that burr slightly refined a little bit just after it's going to one side. It burrs smaller than it was. But yeah, it just acts like two different grits. If you finish with lighter pressure, the finish is different than it is if you finish with heavier pressure. And I think that's pretty cool. Makes it quite versatile. And like I said, don't think in no way that this is a 300 grit stone. If you buy it thinking it's a 300, you're gonna be upset. This stone is in no way, shape, or form a 300 grit stone. It's more akin to a 500, like a Shapton Glass 500. It's about maybe even slightly finer, slightly more aggressive than the stone, believe it or not. I'd put it in the, yeah, like comparing it to a Shapton Glass, I'd say it's like 550. And if you're using heavier pressure, maybe a 500, yeah, 450. I don't know. Yeah, you probably could. If you're using heavy pressure, it's probably a little gonna leave a little bit more aggressive edge than a Shapton Glass 500 will. And again, I'm just taking extra time. I'm not in no hurry. Y'all feel free to skip through the video. I'm just enjoying quiet time right now. So if that's means I'm making a few extra passes, taking a little more time than normal, then so be it. I'm gonna tell you, don't think this stone don't cut. Like, 20 CV and 390 steels like that. The stone handles with no problem at all. In fact, there's a video of me on here using the stone to do 20 CV on a grip tubing. Right now, I'm just reducing that burr with lighter and lighter passes. See, now I'm getting very light pressure. This stone will absolutely finish differently than it would if I was using a little bit heavier pressure. Okay, it should be good. That should be a nice edge right there. Clean it off. Oh yeah. Nice and bitey. I do feel it feels like a few little pieces of burr. Feels pretty clean. Ooh, look at that. Straight off the stone. Push cutting newspaper, no problem. Okay. Almost swirl coating. Actually, it is swirl coating. Very nice. All right, now we're going to make a few passes on strut just to clean it up. This up. You grab a towel, guys. Just to clean it up. I'm gonna hit it on a strop, and that's going to bring that edge up, that keenness way up. It's already very sharp. We're just gonna go 5 micron at sharpening angle. Okay. And now we should be a laser. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Very nice. That is a very, very nice D2 edge. It's gonna have a lot of bite. It's gonna have oh yeah, lots of bite. Really grabs the meat. Very, very nice edge, okay? So, now, let's cut test. Let me get my paper. Okay, so this is Ganzo
D2. I can't really read that. Ganzo.
I need a fine tip marker, damn it. Alright. So we did a King 300. That should be enough rope. 2 little pieces. Okay. Alrighty, let's get to doing it. We're going to, of course, keep the cutting predominantly in the belly. Alright, let's get to it. Can you all see? Yes, you can. Okay. Cutting's going to be done right here. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. That's a good cutting edge. I'm going to have to rewrite this after because I don't know what it says for right now, but before I stick it up on the board. Ten. That thing is cutting good. But I know better than that. It performs too good for that. tell y'all, man, if you ain't never used no Ganzo D2, get you some. It's good stuff. Not gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't up there near the top. Look at that. Excuse me. Still feels fantastic. Oh yeah, easily biting a nail. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 60 cuts. I mean, it's still going good. So, let's see. Fantastic. I just noticed it starting to, right then I just noticed a little bite starting to fall off. Uh-huh. Yep. That's weird. Like I could feel it. I could feel the bite burst in about 3 cuts. I could feel it get a little less bitey, a little less bitey. I could literally feel it happening. Okay. I mean, I still think it's got plenty left in it, but yeah, I could feel the cut start to change a little bit. Looking good. Looking good. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. Still feels good. Still more. Still feels good. Bite is starting to drop though. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. See if there's any. Clean the edge off. So rat. Looks excellent. Yeah, looks good to me. Even naked eye, I can't see anything. Okay, I feel the getting a little rougher. Okay, still excellent. I'm telling you guys, man, this might be. I'm telling you, Ganzo D2 is fucking good. This is going to be up there near the top. And it's not. And the thing is I've had a lot of D2 through them, and it's always really good. What is that? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Man, that's 90. What's the best D2 we've done? What? I think 90. I think 90. That's still excellent. That's still very sharp. Look at that. Let me make sure I got that right. 10, 20, 30, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. That's 90 cuts. This is definitely the best D2 we've tested. This is going to be, I think this is going to get there and there. Like, this is going to get up there. This is going to do another 20 cuts easily. And look how easy it's still cutting through this rope. Yeah, it's losing a little bite. But look at that. Seven. I cannot believe it. This just beat Kubi and Petrified Fish D2. I told y'all it's good. I told y'all. Oh, I can see a little glinting right there now. If y'all can see it, it's right where my thumb is. It's minor. Come on. Focus, camera. There we go. See it? Look at that. Oh. We're good. We are good. This is impressive. I mean, I knew it was gonna. I knew it. I figured it'd be right up there with, like, maybe slightly below Petrified Fish and Kubi. Well, I can feel it really losing bite now. Oh yeah, it's starting to slip more now. Okay. Yeah, this edge is starting to give up. Okay. It's starting to give up. It's starting to give up. You feel it starting to want to not grab the rope and not, grab it and cut it. But I still see very minimal glinting. It's very minor. Very minor. Here we go. Oh, see, I got through perfect. I tore. That might be it, boys and girls. Feel pretty good just in. Okay. All right. I think we're there. Yeah, we're there. Okay. I'll tell you what, we called it just when it 3 cuts ago, it probably wouldn't have failed. We called it right on when it failed. Yeah. That's a minor catch. That's where it's grabbing and tearing. I'll tell you that. This is one hell of a good piece of steel. Look at that. You see it right here. But I'll tell you, that is still a damn sharp piece of that blade is still. Look at that. Still grabbing my thumb without. There's one little spot where it wants to skip at. Right about here. All right there. But that's still grabbing my thumbnail, no problem at all. That's impressive. I told y'all, Ganzo is not no bullshit. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. 110. I mean, yeah, the thing is, I'm not particular. I mean, I'm surprised that it did beat Kubi, and I am surprised. I expected it to be right there with them. From all the use I've done with Ganzo D2, you know, it always performs good. I would say it's up there. You know, it performs like Kubi. Maybe doesn't sharpen quite as well as like Kubi or Petrified Fish K110. It's good, maybe not quite as good as them, but performance, it's always close. Like out in the real world, you know, it's so close that there's not really much. You know, you really can't tell if you cut a little more with this one on something that's a little tougher. It and you cut, you know, say I cut with a Kubi, something that's a little more abrasive, make a few cuts on that. And with this one, I make a few more cuts on something that's a little less abrasive. It's so close when you're cutting multiple things that you can't really tell a difference. They perform very, very, very similar. Now, what I will say, this knife right here, it did not do that because of geometry. It didn't outcut like the Beluga or the Nova because of geometry. Because if anything, this knife is a little thicker behind the edge than the Beluga for sure, and probably about the same as right here, anyways, about the same as the Nova. Yeah. So this wasn't this. I mean, you know what, this right here is a perfect case of a very well done edge, a very well formed apex, done on a stone that D2 really does well on, with a finished D2 does really well on, and a very, very well done piece of D2. And we get 110 cuts. Best D2 we've ever tested. By, what's that? Let's see. Yeah, Nova 90. Beluga 90. So we got 20 cuts on the what I consider the best D2 coming out of China would be Kubi and Petrified Fish. And Ganzo just outcut them by 20. So, you know, that right there is a prime reason of why I speak so highly of Ganzo D2 and Ganzo 440C. It performs reliably fantastic. For the money, I mean, you can't ask for more for the money. You get some of the best D2 that you're going to get from China in such incredibly cheap knives. And the thing is, their prices are cheap. Their build quality is solid. The knives are done well. They're smooth. The designs are pretty nice. That, like, just overall, Ganzo is a fucking good deal. This knife right here, I love it. I wish I could get me another one. If I could find them, I would buy two right away. I'd buy two on the spot if I could find these again, because I just like the design, and that performance speaks for itself. So, to any of the Ganzo naysayers out there, that right there should make you stop saying nay and start saying, "Let me get me one." So, all right, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I know it was a long video. Like I said, just enjoying some me time and talking to you guys. Get you some Ganzo D2 and get you some Ganzo 440C. I guarantee you will be getting a tremendous amount of performance for your dollar. Can't beat it. You cannot beat them. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one.